TRAE AI just launched the newest version of their IDE, which is pretty amazing. So here, if you go to TRAE.ai, here you can see the landing page of TRAE AI IDE. You can just click on download it and install it on your computer. And today we will explore together the Solo Coder mode. It's really amazing. I tested it for many times and the results are really amazing. So I really recommend for everyone watching this video, go ahead, download TRAE and try out Solo Coder, the option that you can see right here. The results are really amazing. So with no further ado, let's dive deep and explore and try out together TRAE AI Solo Coder mode. So after downloading and installing TRAE AI, so this is how the UI looks like. Today we will focus on the solo mode. You have the switch here on the top left of the IDE. So when you click on it, you will land on this view right here. So you have two options, whether the Solo Builder or the Solo Coder. So for today, we will focus on the Solo Coder. Also, before we move on, if you click on this button right here, you can see the editor, you can see a bunch of other views, including integrations. So what I did so far is I connected my TRAE AI to Supabase. If I click in here, you see that I have already created a teleprompter project, so I will connect to it. All right, so now it's connected. You can disconnect it or open the dashboard and so when you refresh it, so you will see whether if you are connected or not. All right, so I will show you later on how to do that on Supabase. All right, so now I will first ask TRAE AI to create a simple teleprompter application. So first I will enable the plan. So when you turn this on, so the agent will plan first and then it acts after confirmation. All right, so let's turn it on, and this is my initial prompt. So create a fully functional web-based teleprompter application with the following specification: text input area where users can paste or type their script, adjustable scrolling speed, play and pause, reset button, full screen mode for presentation, mirror flip, font size adjustment, line height spacing adjustment, and dark light mode. So I will add, I want a modern and attractive UI. All right, just to make it clear. All right, so now I will send this prompt, and now let's leave Solo Coder to do the job. All right, so first it will analyze my request, and then it will do some plannings, and it will think about the process, defining the steps and the stories, or like the tasks that it needs to execute, and then it will ask for my confirmation, and once confirmed, it will execute the plan. So now let's give it some time, and I will also try to comment while it's doing the job. All right, so now it's thinking and it's planning the throughout, like what it will be doing. So now we have the result. All right, so what do we have in here? So let's give it the time to finish writing everything. So now what do we have? So the tech stack, it will be a pure HTML CSS with modern variables, vanilla JavaScript, no frameworks or build setup, simple, portable, and fast. Okay, so clean split layout, left top input, large minimalist control, dark light mode theme via CSS variables. The features, so like text input, scrolling speed controls, full screen, mirror, and so on and so forth. So I think this is fine as a starting, because later on I will give it like a more complex task to include also like connecting to a database, using Supabase for a database, creating the database, and so on and so forth. All right, so now let's click on execute, and let's give it the time to execute everything we need. And also we will see everything later on in the editor right here. So it will start. So first of all, it created this .trae folder where we see this document, or like this MD files. All right, so now it will start creating the different files that we need, like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then we will see the output result in the browser right here, because we have also the browser option. So as you can see, now it planned 7 to do. So like scaffold, static app files, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, implement UI controls, implement scrolling engine, and so on and so forth. So now it's executing the jobs one by one. Every time the task will be executed, I think it will be marked as a check in here. So now we have the index.html. Now it's working on the style.css. as mentioned in the first step, or like in the first task. So here it's working on the app.js, then it will implement the UI controls, scrolling engine, full screen, mirror, font and line height, run local preview and validate features, add persistence and keyboard shortcuts, and then polish the modern UI styling and responsiveness. All right, so now it's done. I think it's done with the first task. So as you can see, the first task is done. So scaffolding this one, so now it's checked. Now it's moving to the second one, so it's thinking, and as you can see, so the first one is done. Now it's implementing the UI controls and binding, and so on and so forth. So task 2 is also done. Now it's moving to the task number 3, and so on and so forth. So let's give it the time to finish the job, and once it's done, let's see the output result. Alright, so like 6 out of 7 are done. So let's click on allow to allow this one, and now we can open the preview. So if we go to the browser, so this is how our teleprompter looks like. Okay, so I think the UI looks fine for now. Maybe like some more enhancements for these ones, but I think it's fine as a first result. All right. Also, we have the light and dark theme switcher. We see it right here. So now it's done with the first thing. All right. So maybe I will go to the Lorem Ipsum website and copy paste some text. All right. So maybe if I refresh in here, so this is how our teleprompter looks like. So if I click on play, so it will start playing. Now if I enter the full screen mode, so it also works fine. All right, so let's adjust a little bit the speed. Let's increase the font. And if we click on full screen, and now it's playing. All right, so like now you see that it's scrolling. I can click type escape, so it exits the full screen mode. And now maybe let's reduce a little bit the screen, sorry, not the screen, but the speed. So let's keep it as a 2. Let's stop, or like even reset. Let's enter full screen again. And now it's scrolling smoothly. All right. So when we click on mirror text, you see that the text is inverted right now. All right. Also, we can adjust the line height between the lines, or like the line height of the text. So when we start full screen again, so now it's also scrolling. So like this is what we need when we have like a teleprompter device. All right, so I think the first result is fine. Also, we can switch between light and dark mode. So as a first result, I think this is completely fine. All right, so now I will give it a bit more complex task. I want to use Supabase. All right, so as I showed you in the beginning, when we go here to integrations, we see that we have Supabase connected, and it's connected to my project called teleprompter for my Alibu organization. Let me show you that in the Supabase website. So this is my Supabase application. So it's a teleprompter under this organization Alibu. So like I just chose the free tier, and now I have no tables, no functions, I have nothing. I have here the project URL, and I have the API key. I will provide these for TRAE AI, and then I will ask it to do all the necessary job. All right. So, all right now, so whether within the same task or you can start a new task, so I will also enable the plan again, and now I will paste my prompt. So let me give you the prompt. So I want to have these additional features. So let me add, I want to add these additional features. So I want to have user account and script management. So guest mode, full teleprompter functionality without creating an account, and optional user registration login system with password. All right. So here I want to add just user, not optional, but user registration logging system with email and password. Authenticated user can save scripts with custom names, descriptions, organize scripts, create, rename, and delete folders. Quick launch any saved script directly. Duplicate scripts for versioning. View script history. I think I don't need this one. Also, I don't need duplicating scripts. So let's skip the rest. So user interface, I want to have a modern UI design with contemporary aesthetics like glass morphism, gradient, smooth animation, and so on and so forth. So here's a section explaining the product. Also here I want a professional landing page with hero section explaining the product, feature, showcase with icons, description, pricing tier, free versus premium, call to action button for sign up and try as a guest, and so on and so forth. So like this is about the landing page. I want also to have a clean and distraction free reading view, control panel, and so on and so forth. For the technical requirements, I want Supabase integration for user authentication, email, password, like with a magic link or auth, database for storing user profile scripts and folders, and row level security policy for data protection, real-time subscription for collaborative feature. So I think this one, I will remove it. Also, I provided here my project URL, so the one you can find in here. So if you go to the project and scroll a little bit down, you can find the project API. So you can copy the project and the API key. Don't use my API key because I will revoke it just after recording this video. Also, I want to have a responsive design that works on desktop, tablet, and mobile, and modern tech stack like React.js, Vue, Self, Tailwind, or similar. All right, local storage for guest users to temporarily save settings and scripts, and timer counter showing elapsed time. And here optional remote control, I will remove it. And I want to have some additional features like text formatting, preserving, queue markers, import text, export text, adjustable text with margin, focus, guidelines, and so on and so forth. So we can keep this one. I want to build this as a complete production ready application with proper file structure, Supabase backend configuration, and a polished modern user experience throughout. All right, so I will hit enter right now, and I will let Solo Coder plan these first. All right, and then we will give it the time to execute these features, or like these new features we want to add. So now it's organizing and implementing everything that we want to execute. So once it is done, we will see it. So now we can also scroll up and see what will be done. So here it's mentioning the tech stack. So it will be Next.js, App Router, React 18, Tailwind, CSS, Supabase, JS Client for authentication, TypeScript throughout, Redux, UI primitive, Vite style tooling, and so on and so forth. So for the environment configuration, you have Next public Supabase URL, you have the anon key, and Supabase project URL. So it's provided, serverless friendly, database model Supabase. So like this is the database. We have profiles, folder, scripts, default, and script marks. We have also like all the details. All right, so now without just going too much into the details, I will leave you the link to this project in the description of this video. So now let's click on execute, and let's give it the time to execute this plan. All right, so now it's thinking, and then it will start planning and executing what it already planned. Not we planned, but it was just with us. So now it's creating the new project, installing the dependencies, and so let's give it the time and wait until it's done. And then, so now before like waiting, it already planned 10 tasks, like initialize Next.js app, and with Tailwind, CSS, and TypeScript, add Supabase client and environment configuration, implement authentication, page session handling, build script library with folder and search, implement teleprompter with smooth scrolling, create scripts, and so on and so forth, validate locally and provide preview, implement landing page with modern UI, add import export for and recent scripts, add toast skeletons transitions. Okay, this sounds good. Now it's creating. So here, all right, so now it's running the first command. So like npm create app, latest web, TS Tailwind, ASLint. So like these are the dependencies that are required. So now it's executing. Let's wait for it, and then we will come back once it's done. And also I think we can see this in the terminal, by the way. So if we go here and open the terminal, so we can see which commands are being executed in here. All right, so like this is the output, and here we have the terminal. So yes, so let's say Y to proceed, and now it's installing the dependency. So let's say yes, let's accept everything. What import alias, so let's keep it to default. So now it's installing Tailwind dev dependencies. Let me make this one a little bit full screen, or like a little bit bigger, so you can see everything. So now we need sometimes like we need to interact with the terminal, or like to finalize, or like to adjust few things. So this is what we did already, and now it's installing all the dependencies, and we will see the results once it's done. So like I will fast forward the video and then come back and comment out once it's doing something else. Alright, so the first step is done. Now it's executing the second one, adding the Supabase client and environment configuration. Alright, so now this is the Supabase folder, and I think it's done. We can click it and see the configuration in here. Now it's adding the .env local, so like I think this is the one that contains the URL and the anon key. And now I think it's preparing the implementation for the landing page. All right, so let's wait for that and see the results. All right, so now it's validating locally. So I think we can open the browser in here. All right, so now we see a landing page. So we see a cool landing page. So let's leave it to finish everything, and then we will see how this looks like. All right, so let me bring it back to full screen. So let's see what happened. So status: initialize production ready Next.js app with Tailwind, CSS, and web. While Supabase authentication and data access, environment ready. Implemented landing page, auth page, library editor, teleprompter. Local preview is live, and the app is available on this port. All right, so now if I open here the browser, so the application is ready. Maybe let's open it in our browser. All right, so okay, so our landing page looks fine. So if I click on sign in, all right, there is an issue. So now let's open the console in here, and we can add this one to the chat, and it should fix the issue. So first, let's say the database was not created on Supabase. So I see 0 tables created. Also, there is this error in the console. So let's try to fix this one, and let's see how it will behave. So now let's open back this one. I think we can refresh to to get back to the landing page, but let's give it the time to fix this one first. All right. So also let me double check the integration. So my teleprompter project is connected, and everything seems to be fine, but I think the database was not created. So also if I open the project in here, let's see the structure, and we have the web, we have the local environments, we have everything, but I think I do not see. All right, so let's check this one first. So missing DB tables, has no tables profile, profiles, folders, and so on and so forth. So runtime module not found, cannot resolve. So first install client dependency, add Supabase to the project, and then create Supabase schema and RLS, execute SQL below, wire user ID client inserts, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I will execute this one, and let's give it the time to execute it. So now we have client changes, library page inserts, const, and then we have dependency installation. It will install the Supabase dependency. So no more module errors. So here, fixing the Supabase. Okay, so it's completed. Let's check again. I think it's still not, it's not yet completed. Let's check if on Supabase, if our database was created. All right, so the database was not created. Maybe we need to create it manually. All right, we still see the error in here. So let's mention it, and let's ask it to fix it again. So now it will install the Supabase dependency, update the library, CRUD, and provide Supabase SQL for database and RLS. So it will provide the script. Maybe we need to execute it manually. I'm not sure. So let's open the preview again. So I'm not sure if if it is able to directly execute it on Supabase, but I think it should. But let's see what will happen. Let's give it the time to finish fixing this issue, and then let's see what will happen later on. So now the server is down. Maybe we can close this one and then wait for the result. All right, so preview page. We still see this error. All right, let's wait. Maybe it's still doing some other job, or like maybe it's checking something. So yeah, it's already analyzing the error. So like it's already checking the error, that it already identified that something is wrong, and now we see the application. So this is the auth and sign in, but I want to see my landing page. Okay, so like it's not yet done with the task. So like I was moving, or like I was going super fast. So let's wait for that, and let's wait for it to be done. Let's go back to the landing page. If I click on sign in, so I can sign in, try as a guest. I can also try it as a guest, which is super cool, but I want to make sure if my database has been created or not. So let's refresh in here. All right, so I do not see a database, the database yet, but let's go here. And maybe let's take the SQL and execute it directly. So like, I guess we can do that. All right. So here it says, if you haven't run the Supabase SQL yet, I can paste it again here. So I think we can find it in the project structure. So let's go to the project and then TRAE. And I think it was in here, right? Or okay, just paste the SQL, the Supabase SQL. And then we can just copy paste it and execute it directly on Supabase. All right, like just to create a database and everything, and make sure that everything is working fine. So now we have the SQL, so it's done. Let's copy it. Let's go to Supabase, and then let's click on SQL editor. And now let's run this script. Let's click on run this query. And now let's make sure, okay, so no rows returned. And now if I go back to project overview, I have 4 tables. So now if I click on table editor, I see that I have profiles, folder, and so forth. Now let me refresh this in my browser. We have one issue, and all right. So now let's go back here and let's refresh. Let's open the browser in here and let's refresh this one. Okay, so let's try to sign in. All right, or like let's try it as a guest. Okay, so trying as a guest, maybe I can paste this one. I can enter full screen and I can play this script. All right, I can exit the full screen. I can change the views and so forth. Now I want to start to try out the, okay, so this is teleprompter. Let's go back, let's sign in, send a magic link. All right, let's try it. All right, so I received an email. So I will copy the link and let me open it in here. All right, so, okay, I'm not signed in, kind of. All right, so to get started is where we create an account. All right, let me create an account in here. Let's click on sign up. All right, so I think we have a sign up. Let's try to log in and see if this works. Sign in. Okay, invalid credentials. Let's add these 2 errors to the chat and try to get them fixed. So also, meanwhile, I will go to Supabase, table editor, and then profiles. So we don't see any profile here. We don't see any folders, scripts, and so like, I think signing up, or like the sign up did not work. So let's try to have this one fixed. If we go back here and then it's thinking, so maybe it's fixing the issue. Let's wait a little bit. All right, so now I think we need to execute. All right. Ensure you've run the SQL create table. So this one is done. And now let's refresh and try this again. All right, so I will provide my email and password. Let's sign up. Let's check the database if we have the profiles created. Let's refresh. Nope, so the profile was not created. So the sign up does not work. Please fix it. And let's see what will happen. All right, so this is the process. Let's see now what was fixed. So updated sign up flow to handle both confirmation required and instance session. All right, let's update and let's try to sign up again. All right, so now check your email to verify your account. And now I should receive an email in a few seconds. And also let's double check in here if we have the profile created or not. Let's refresh. All right, so it was not created. So let's mention that. So the profile, so the table profiles is empty after the sign up. This means that no user was created. Let's give it the time to fix it, and then we will see. All right, so let's execute this one once again on Supabase. So let's go back in here, SQL editor, and let's try to make this run. So run this query, and I hope the query, okay, so the query is fine. Now, if I go back here, get started, let's try to log in again, and let's click sign up. So let's see here in the table editor. All right, so now we have the user. So the user was created. So now let's go back to sign in. Let's go back to the main page, and let's try to sign in with the same user. All right, let's try to sign in right now. I think it's invalid credentials. Let's type it again, or let's send the magic link. All right, let's try with the magic link and see if this works. So I received an email. Let me copy it, and I will open it in here. I need to copy the link. All right, so let's ask TRAE to fix it. So the user is there as well as the profile, but the sign in does not work and displays always bad credentials. Let's make it fix it, and then we will see. All right, let's try on the browser. I think that would be better. Okay, so let's sign in again. So if your account was created with magic link, set a password using send reset link. Okay, so let's try the send reset link. All right, so I received an email to reset my password. So I will copy it, paste it in here. So let's set the password and then update password. All right, so now let's try again with sign up, or like signing in. All right, so now it works. So here we have no folder. So let's create a new folder. Okay, I would prefer a pop-up. So let's say scripts, and then okay, so we have the folder. Let's create a new folder, for example. Let's say drafts. Click OK. Nice. So now let's create a new script. So let's give it a name. So maybe TRAE AI. All right. So now, okay, now I can give it a description and I give it script. So I will copy this one, and then where was it? Let's save it in here. All right. So it should be auto saved. So here, as you can see, it's auto saved. Now if we click back, and now we see it. So now we can launch the teleprompter, and now we can play it. We can enter the full screen mode and all this stuff. All right, so this looks fine. Let's go back here. And if we go in here, all right. So I'm already signed in, but all right, so this is the landing page. I'm already signed in, but I see that I have to click on sign in again. So we can ask TRAE again to fix it. We have another issue in here. I think just it's because of some hydration and so, but this looks fine. All right, maybe we can ask it to improve it a little bit more and like add a few things, but so far I think this is fine. And I'm pretty happy with the results. All right, so like I gave it a complex task, and it was able to handle almost everything. But I think with more prompting and more like discussion with the agent, it should be able to improve everything. But as a first result, you see like you don't need to have knowledge about Supabase, about databases. You just need to follow the steps, give it the prompt, and then it should do everything for you. All right. So maybe, all right. So meanwhile, I want to give it a last try. I want to use pop-ups for the script and folder creation. Also, I want to have a signed in mode for the application and the landing page. When the user is signed in, he should see a different menu and should be able to access his folders and scripts. All right, let's ask it to do this last change, and then let's see the result together, how it will do it. So I did not enable the plan, so it will automatically execute, like plan and execute this task. So now it will add a modal component for pop-up creation, use modals to create folder scripts in library, and add signed in landing header with session aware menu. So the modal component is created. Now it's implementing the second one, like to use the modal to create the folder script and library. And finally, it will add the signed in landing header with session aware menu. Also, meanwhile, let's go ahead and check in Supabase, and let's go to table editor, and we have folders right here. So this is the two folders that we created, and we have the script. So this is the script that we created, and the content is here. It's the format, it's a markdown, and created at, updated at. So we don't have script marks yet. All right, so this looks good. And now it's doing, or like finishing the last changes. Now if I go back here and refresh the page, and then, all right, so let's sign in again, and let me provide the password. All right, so now if I try to go back to the landing page. All right, so in the landing page, now I see the sign out, and I can go to the button, or like to the library. All right, I would prefer to keep, or like to have the menu to navigate between the different pages, but it's fine. We can ask it again to do it, and I'm pretty sure it will do it. So here, when we are logged in, we have go to library, and this will automatically redirect us to the library. All right, so now again we see the script, we can launch the teleprompter, and so forth. We can also like ask it to improve the UI and all this stuff. Now if I try to create a new folder, I can create it in a pop-up. So maybe let's create it as a test, and we see it in here. Now we can create a script with the name and description, which is fine. And then we can search for a script. For example, if we type something that does not exist, it will not show up. Otherwise, it will filter the different scripts. I think the outcome of the TRAE Solo Coder is pretty good, and it was able to handle this really complex task, because at the beginning we just asked for a simple teleprompter, and now with the different prompts and the different discussion with the agent, we were able to generate a fully working teleprompter application, which is really fine. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, try out TRAE AI and give me your feedback in the comments of this video. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.